So, qualities of a respectful person. So, there are at least three qualities to be considered in order for you to be called as a respectful person. Okay, we have the ability to listen, treat others with consideration, capable of accepting individual difference and beliefs. So when you say ability to listen, when somebody is talking, he is attentively listening. He is not just hearing the words coming from the person speaking, but he is also comprehending what the speaker is talking about. When you say comprehending, he is listening as well as understanding the things that the speaker is speaking, ba? What is the speaker is talking about, no? Kung about unsa ang iyang ginastorya, ginasabot nimo ang unsa ginastorya niya. Just like for example, right now I am giving you lectures about being a respectful person. Now, there are two types of person, the one that is hearing and the one that is listening. When you say hearing, naminaw lang ka but wala imong gisabot. No, you are just hearing the words that I am saying, but you are not comprehending the things that I am teaching you, that I'm telling you. Okay, murag gipasulod nimo sa pikas dalunggan, gipagawa sa pud nimo sa pikas dalunggan. That is what we call hearing. Ba? You are just um, um, hearing the words that I am talking, that I am speaking, but you are not comprehending it. When you say listening, you are attentively listening to the person, right? You are understanding, you are comprehending the things that the person is talking to, and kung about what topic ang iyahang ginastorya sa imuha, asa nang gikan ang iyahang ideas and all. So that is the ability to listen. Okay? So treat others with consideration. Respectful person doesn't resort to intimidation, coercion, or violence except in extraordinary and limited situations to defend others, teach discipline, maintain order, or achieve social justice. They allow all individuals, including maturing children, to have a say in a decision that affect them. So treat others with consideration. Be considerate. Because maybe your decision is your decision is always based on your perspective, right? And your perspective is what you believe is right, correct? So meaning, kung unsa to imong gidesisyon, di ba mo, meaning mo na imong gituuhan nga tama niya akong desisyon. But in different perspective, in different view, coming from a different person, maybe, just maybe, that your decision is not correct. It is not right. It is just that wala lang kay lain ideas coming from another person to give you advices on how to make proper decisions if your decision that you are making is right or wrong. Right? So if other people gives you advices or suggestions that maybe it's best if you do this instead of doing that, then take consideration of it. Consider the situation, consider the person suggesting you different options. Just like for example, in a group activity, if you are the leader, not all the time that the leader will do all the tasking, right? Sometimes naga-delegate din og task ang leader sa mga members. Now, if you have no idea or if you run out of idea sa tasking ninyo, that is the time na mag-ask mo og question sa inyong members, right? So, kung mag-ask mo questions in your members, then your members are going to give you some ideas from their perspective, from their way of thinking. So that way, you get a different idea, you have a different or new insights to think about or to consider. Diba? So that way, you can come up with a better solution, with a better decision. Na dili ma-compromise ang laing tao. Capable of accepting individual difference and beliefs. Respectful individuals without prejudice openly accepts principles and ideologies of others. They judge others only on their negative character, abilities, and conduct. So, regardless of your beliefs, regardless of what religion you're believing to, what religion you belong to, diba? If that is your perspective, if that is your stand, if that is your belief, then I respect you as much as you respect my beliefs also. Just like for example, in politics, if gusto nimong iboto ni siya nga candidate, that's fine with me. That is your belief, that is your stand. Pero dili ko ganahan ana sa imong giboto. But because I respect you, I am not going to give any comments or I am not going to fight with you just because of our differences. Now, if I'm going to vote another candidate, then you must respect my decision because this is my belief, this is my stand. Diba? So, separate your relationship to your differences. Kay daghan kaayo tao or daghan kaayo mga relationships na nabungkag, nasira, or nagkalamat na because of their differences and they are not willing to compromise it. They're not willing to give way to one another. Ba, dili sila gusto nga mag-compromise. Di sila gusto nga mag-meet halfway in order for them na magkasinabot sila. Diba? So, in order for you to be respected, so consider or practice these 3 qualities. Diba? Just like what I said last meeting. Na if you want to be respected, show them that you respect yourself. Na kung dili ka gusto nga hinabtan based sa imong beliefs and based sa imong unsay standing mo in different aspects of life, then don't give comments to other people's beliefs sa ilahang life. Kay inlahang man ang kinabuhi. Diba? And you are not part of it. Silang kinabuhi. Right? So indirectly, kung maunsa sila based sa ilahang decisions, if you are not directly related to the person, then you are not directly affected by whatever consequences na atubangon niya in the future. Now, when you say responsibility, that is being responsible. Now, it is understood that life is full of choices, and everyone has its own judgment and decisions to take in life. However, we are expected to be responsible for our actions and behaviors as rational beings. Being responsible means to take charge and be accountable of the consequences of what we think and do. Our capacity to reason and our freedom to choose makes us morally autonomous and therefore answerable for whatever we honor and degrade the ethical principles that give life meaning and purpose. Thus, an individual must be responsible and accountable, pursue excellence, and exercise self-restraint. They exhibit the ability to respond to expectations. So did you understand? Being responsible. So being responsible, it doesn't mean that you must do all the things that we're asked you to do. No, it is not just that. No, dili lang siya limited sa diha nga aspect. So being responsible also is your willingness to face the consequence whenever you make decisions. Ba? Lalong-lalo na kapag you are unsure of what is the result sa imong decision. So regardless of it will be negative result or it will be positive result, you are going to face the consequence of it. That is also being responsible. Aside from that, being aware of the words that you are saying to a person, no, without offending him or hurting his or her feelings is being responsible also. That is being tactful. No, the opposite of being tactful is tactless. Pagiging tactless. So if you are minding the words that's coming out of your mouth, and you are minding of the words that you're using, no, because you are very careful of not the person get offended or whatsoever. But that is also being responsible. Thinking the welfare of your coworkers or sa imong mga kapwa-tao. Diba? That is being responsible. Aiming something. No? Kanang mangarap ka, you are dreaming of something that you want to become. That is being responsible also because hindi mo hinahayaan na mag-stick ka lang sa ganitong state sa buhay mo. Ganitong estado sa mong kinabuhi. Diba? You are being responsible of growing up as a person and as an individual. So qualities of a responsible person. So here are the other qualities of a responsible person. We have sense of accountability. A sense of accountability is directly in relation with the responsibility. If you are responsible towards your action, towards your decisions in life, then you are ready to face whatever the consequence, the result of your decisions. So that is being accountable. Diba? An accountable person leads by example and doesn't shift blame or claim credit for the work of others. He considers the likely consequences of his behavior and associations. He recognizes the common complicity in the triumph of evil when nothing is done to stop it. That is being accountable. That is the sense of accountability. Now, if that's not your idea, then don't claim it. Don't take credit towards the reward or towards the success of your team kung wala ka namang ambag. Right? Now, if may mali ka, don't shift the blame and don't put the blame onto other people. No, be accountable of it. You held accountability of it. Pursuit of excellence. Responsible person shows diligence what he's doing, careful in his actions, prepared and informed. They finish what they started, overcoming rather than surrendering the obstacles. They avoid excuses such as, that's just what I am, or it's not my job, or it was legal, and always look for ways to do their work better. So pursuit of excellence. Don't settle for what you are capable right now. Always think of you have a room for improvement, right? In order for you to get better. Just like for example, you did your job well this time. Now, in order for you to do your job much better the next time, then compete with yourself. You know, beat your previous record. Don't compete with other people because you have different capabilities and qualities. You have different talents. May nagagawa siya na hindi mo nagagawa. May nagagawa ka rin na hindi niya nagagawa. So why compete with each other? You are two different people. Lahi-lahi mo kakayahan. Instead, compete with yourself. Diba? Break your previous records. That will lead you to excellence. Now, self-restraint, that is also belong to being a responsible person. Responsible people exercise self-control, restraining passions and appetites such as lust, hatred, gluttony, greed, and fear, for the sake of longer-term vision and better judgment. They delay gratification if necessary and never feel it's necessary to win at any cost. They realize they are there as they choose to be every day. Self-restraint. You can control your emotions. So whatever emotion it is, anger, jealousy, no? Nilalagay mo sa tamang lugar yung mga emotions mo. No? Not just because you're angry towards a specific person, pwede na ka mag-tantrum, pwede na ka magmaoy diha regardless if nailain tao o naay muhang co-workers. That is not a responsible person. Diba? You know how to restrain your emotions. If you feel lost, no? Restrain it. Samot nagwala man day kay uyab o di man day kaminyo. Right? Now, if you, same lang gyapon na siya sa, for example, if you go on a diet, no? You train yourself to control your hunger. Na bisan pa og dili nating kaon, mukaon gyapon ka kay nag-crave ko ani, nag-crave ko ana, bisan og busog ka. Di ba? You that's not hunger anymore. That is already what we call greediness. Just because you have money to buy with this food or expensive things doesn't mean that you can buy all of it. Even if dili na nimo ginagamit, even if dili ka gutom, bisan even if kanang mutilaw ra bitaw ko, di man gyapon na nako mahurot, ihatag ng dayon nako ni sa silingan. Diba? That is being greedy. So instead, you restrain yourself. No? Unsaon nimo mahimong sexy kung nag-diet ka pero sige ka crave. Sige post sa social media na nag-crave ko ani lamia ani oy lamia anaon. Where is your self-restraint? Sa inana nga situation. Diba? Wala. Now, fairness. Pagiging fair. This pillar of good character involves issues of equality, impartiality, proportionality, openness, and due process. It is unfair to handle similar matters inconsistently and to impose punishment that is not commensurate with the effects. The basic concept seems simple, even intuitive, yet applying it in daily life can be surprisingly difficult. Fairness is another tricky concept, probably more subject to legitimate debate and interpretation than any other ethical value. Disagreeing parties tend to maintain that there is only one fair position. But essentially, fairness implies adherence to a balanced standard of justice without relevance to one's own feelings or inclinations. That is pagiging fair. Okay? When you say fairness, it is not just kay abi gihatagan nimo og kwarta si Inday, hatagan po nimo kwarta si Dudong. Diba? I mean, ang pagiging fair is just like that. If you are giving, if gihatagan nimo kwarta si Dudong, hatagan po nimo kwarta si Inday. That is being fair. Now, when you see equality naman, no, talking about education, diba? There are a lot of challenges when it comes to education, right? Number one sa mga challenges is the poverty. Now, a lot of students suffers from poverty. Mo na maglisod sila og eskwela kay nabaon na sila sa utang, kay di sila kabayad sa tuition fee. And there are these students naman na arang-arang ang kinabuhi. So that is why diretso-diretso lang pag-eskwela, wala sila problema when it comes to tuition fee because they can pay it on time or sometimes advance pa. So the quality, I mean the ano itong isa? Fairness and ano yung isa? Fairness and
Equality, ma'am.
equality. Great. So you are listening. So how can equality is being equal. You are giving the person what he needs. Dili ingon nga equal ba? Equal ang paghatag. Kung gihatagan nimo si Dudong, hatagan po din mo si Inday. Diba? That is also one of the definition of equality. But when you say being equal and being fair, dili sa nimo hatagan tong isa kay because he doesn't need it. Dili nimo offeran og scholarship ang isa ka estudyante nga okay man ang iyahang financial status, makabayad man siya, maka-advance payment man siya, wala siya utang sa tuition fee, o siya utang sa eskwelahan, diba? Compare naman sa katong estudyante na pobre o walay pang bayad sa tuition, pero willing siya mo-eskwela. That is being equal. That is being also fair. Diba? Mas hatagan nimo or mas offeran nimo ang mga less fortunate compare sa mga estudyante nga they can able to pay their tuition fee. Okay, that is being fair and equal. Now, ang caring naman, that is one of the most famous traits of being a Filipino. Caring, lovable, diba? Selfless. Once we care on a person, we always think of that person. We always think what's best for that person. But we do things bisan nga wala ta bisan pag wala gipangayo sa tua, but because we care for that person, we do it unconditionally. Right? Caring is the heart of ethics and ethical decision making. It is scarcely possible to be truly ethical and yet unconcerned with the welfare of others. That is because ethics is ultimately about good relations with other people. See? If you care on a specific person, automatically you create a good relationship with that person. Now, especially if that caring comes back to you. Diba? Meaning, gina-reciprocate ni person ang imong care na gihatag siya. So, both of you care for each other, right? So, that way, you created good relationship, you created camaraderie. Diba? No, kapag maka-create na mo camaraderie, good relationship, that is the time na maka-create mo bond with each other, strong bond with each other. Now, if you are that kind of person, then dili lisod sa imo ang mahimong leader because you are natural of it. You are natural of caring for the needs of your members. Now, citizenship. This pillar of good character includes civic virtues and duties that prescribe how we ought to behave as part of the community. The good citizen knows the laws and obeys them. He volunteers and stays informed on the issues of the day, the better to execute his duties and privileges as a member of a self-governing democratic society. So as a citizen of this country, what you ought to do so? What is the country asking you to do? Isa lang man ang ipangayo sa country. Ba isa lang ginapangayo ni Pilipinas sa tua. That is to follow the law and order. Diba? To follow the law. No? By simply following the law, you are already abiding the laws of the country. You are already giving your loyalty to the country. You are being a good citizen of this country. That's all what the country asks you to do. And it turns out a lot of us find it hard to follow these um, requests coming from our country, diba? Coming from our government. So it turns out that all of these qualities, it is easier said than done, right? Mas madali sabihin kaysa sa gawin. So anyway, let's go to the character traits. So we have a lot of character traits here in our book. We have 49 character traits, and a lot of these belongs to being a Filipino, no? And all of these belongs to being a good leader, being a responsible person. Now, if you have all of these characteristics, then perfect na ka. Di ba? And you are a good member of the country. You are a law-abiding citizen. You are a good citizen. You are a good leader if you were to lead people, right? Now, the first one, we have alertness, being aware of what is taking place around, right? Being alert of what is happening with your surroundings. Being attentive, showing the worth of a person or task by giving undivided concentration. Ba? Kaya nga tinatawag na attendance, yung class attendance, because you are giving your attention. Diba? Meaning, yung attendance is not just being physically present. You are giving your undivided attention to the class. Mabitaw na ang tawagan na attendance because the class asks you to be attentive. No? They ask you to give your full attention, undivided attention. Availability, making own schedule and priorities secondary to the wishes of those being served. Make sure that your availability is you can control it. Diba? Can be controlled by yourself. Regardless naman if you are working on a company or you're working on a government agency, because that way, especially in a government agency or samot na sa tri-bureau, you are 24/7 on call. Diba? Bisan pa og off di mo, you are still on call. Diba? If you are working on a private company naman, then you are not available starting from your shift 8 a.m. until your end shift 5 p.m. Just like that. Benevolence, giving to others basic needs without the motivation for acquiring personal rewards. That is being benevolent. You are not asking for any rewards whenever you do something good. You are not asking or expecting something in return. Boldness, confidence that what is say or do is true, right, and just, being straightforward, but not tactless. Cautiousness, knowing how important right timing is in accomplishing right actions. Being cautious, you are being aware of your actions. Compassion, investing whatever is necessary to heal the hurts of others. Compassion, you are thinking for the welfare of other people. Contentment, realizing that true happiness does not depend on material conditions. Creativity, approaching a need, a task, or an idea from a new perspective. Sometimes creativity comes with other people. No, you just have to know how to use it properly in order for you to create a new decision that can benefit all of the people, or if not all, the majority. Decisiveness, the ability to recognize key factors and finalize difficult decisions. Difference, limiting freedom so not to offend the taste of others. Dependability, fulfilling what is consented to do, even if it means unexpected sacrifice. Determination, purposing to accomplish right goals at the right time, regardless of the opposition. You're determined to do. You're determined to graduate, regardless of whatever obstacles you are facing or you might face in the future. Diligence, investing time and energy to complete each task assigned. Discernment, understanding the deeper reasons why things happen. Discretion, recognizing and avoiding words, actions, and attitudes that could bring undesirable consequences. Endurance, the inward strength to withstand stress and do the best. Enthusiasm, expressing joy in doing and accomplishing each task. Faith, confidence that actions rooted in good character will yield the best outcome, even when it's not personally observed. Flexibility, being flexible. Willingness to change plans or ideas according to the direction of the authorities. Forgiveness, clearing the record of those who have wronged and not holding a grudge. Generosity, carefully managing resources to be capable of freely giving to those in need. Gentleness, showing consideration and personal concern for others. Gratefulness, letting others know by one's words and actions how they have benefited one's life. Honor, respecting those in leadership because of the higher authorities that they represent. Hospitality, cheerfully sharing food, shelter, or conversation to benefit others. Humility, acknowledging that achievement results from the investment of others in one's life. Initiative, recognizing and doing what needs to be done before being asked to do it. Joyfulness, maintaining a good attitude even when faced with unpleasant conditions. Justice, taking personal responsibility to uphold what is pure, right, and true. Loyalty, using difficult times to demonstrate commitment to those being served. Meekness, yielding personal rights and expectations with a desire to serve. Obedience, quickly and cheerfully carrying out the direction of the superior. Orderliness, arranging self and surroundings to achieve greater efficiency. Patience, accepting a difficult situation without giving a deadline to remove it. Persuasiveness, giving vital truths around another's mental roadblocks. Punctuality, showing esteem for others by doing the right thing at the right time. Resourcefulness, finding practical uses for that which others would overlook or discard. Responsibility, knowing and doing what is expected you to do so. Security, structuring one's life around that which cannot be destroyed or taken away. Self-control, rejecting wrong desires and doing what is right. Sensitivity, perceiving the true attitudes and emotions of others. Sincerity, eagerness to do what's right with transparent motives. Thoroughness, knowing what factors will diminish the effectiveness of one's work or words if neglected. Thriftiness, allowing oneself and others to spend only what is necessary. Tolerance, realizing that everyone is at varying levels of character development. Truthfulness, earning future trust by accurately reporting past facts. Virtue, the moral excellence even in one's life as consistently doing what is right. And wisdom, seeing and responding to life situations from a perspective that transcends current circumstances. So I think all of the definition explains what is what are those traits about. Diba? Kung unsay mga meaning ato o unsay mga kinahanglan buhaton in order for you to be described that specific trait or that way. So that is all for now. Thank you for listening. And next meeting, we are going to have a short quiz relating to the topics that we've discussed. So don't forget to um, mark your attendance dun sa Telegram. And aside from that, if you have any questions, again, you can always ask me dun sa GC nato dito sa Messenger. Now, if you have no questions or suggestions or concerns, then class dismissed.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.